Hi, sister. Thanks for getting divorced with Giorgio for me. I'm glad you realized that I was just the better woman for him and stepped aside. Rosella, you've got some nerve contacting me like this. What? But I just came to tell you that we turned in the marriage papers to the city hall. We're husband and wife now. And what makes you think I wanted to know that? I mean, this is a happiness that couldn't have been achieved without your help, so I thought I would share it with you. Oops, sorry. I forgot that you lost your own happiness because of it. Oh, I'm so insensitive. Forgive me. I was just so happy myself that I forgot to think about what you felt. As an apology, I promise to find long-lasting happiness with Giorgio, so forgive me, all right? Do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't need a cheating man who's so easily seduced by someone like you anyways. I know that you went after Giorgio because he works at a large trading company and has a large salary as well, but I pity you and all other women like you who can only find love by stealing other people's boyfriends. Huh? What even is that? Aren't you being a bit too mean? It's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other. The fact that you got so angry at what I said means that you are at least a little self-conscious about it, aren't you? Shut up! You're just jealous of me because guys don't find you attractive, but they find me attractive. I don't want to be told something like that by someone who's only interested in hand-me-downs from other women. Seriously, have you ever even thought about it like that? What did you just say to me? It's not my fault if guys find me more attractive than other women. And it's not like I steal their boyfriends. It's more that they come to me voluntarily. Right. Well, I guess you're right in at least one thing. Every boyfriend you stole until now was a cheating piece of scum. To be honest, I actually think you're doing a favor to all those girls whose boyfriends you stole by taking their trash boyfriend away from them. Anyways, I need to unpack my stuff now since I moved. I don't have the time to talk with an idiot like you, so bye. Huh? What's your deal even? Why are you acting all arrogant towards me like that? You're just the woman Giorgio threw away. I swear I'll become so happy with him that you'll start crying when you see us next. Hi, sister. You received the invitation to me and Giorgio's wedding, right? Hurry up and reply to it, will you? Oh, I guess I don't even need to tell you this, but make sure you reply saying that you'll come, okay? You see, I'm going to make you give us a wedding gift of a huge amount of money. I got the wedding invitation through our parents' house, but why do I need to come to your wedding? Besides, all of our relatives and even your friends from our hometown know already that you stole my fiancé from me. You're still going to have a wedding ceremony despite that? I'm impressed. Just where exactly did you throw away your sense of shame? Or did you seriously just think that they wouldn't think anything of how you just stole my fiancé like that? None of that matters as long as the two of us love each other. They'll have no choice but to accept our wedding when they see how happy the two of us are with each other. Is that so? Oh, that reminds me. I told you this earlier, but you're the loser of this fight, so I'm going to make you give me a wedding gift of a huge amount of money. I'm going to make you give me 30,000 euros to be exact. Huh? What fight? The fight over Giorgio, of course. Once you see how madly in love the two of us are with each other, you'll just give up and give us the 30,000 euros. Who knows? You might be able to forget about all of this and move on. I'm not coming to your wedding. Seriously, what made you think that I'd want to come, Rosella? You were always like this, never caring about how other people felt and always just assuming that the world revolved around you. What? But are you sure you don't want to come? If you don't, you're never going to move on from this, and you're going to regret not coming. I have no regrets over a man like Giorgio. On the other hand, I actually pity you, Rosella, to think that you're about to marry an idiot like him. What? Just because you're mad that I stole him from you doesn't mean you can insult him like that. You're such a mean person, Sophia. If that's what you think, then isn't it better that you just don't invite me to your wedding? After all, I am just a mean person that's not going to celebrate it anyways. What are you talking about? There's no point in having a wedding if you're not going to be there, idiot. We're going to be hosting this wedding ceremony specifically to crown the satisfaction I received by stealing Giorgio from you. There's no point if you're not there to see it, right? Huh? So this wedding ceremony is going to crown your idiocracy then? All right, then I think I'll plan a little something of my own too. Oh, so that means you're going to come to the wedding, right? Please show me your best pitiful loser face at the wedding, okay? We'll give you a seat at the front row at the wedding reception. Look forward to it, all right? Hey, Sophia! The day is finally here, isn't it? Today is me and Giorgio's wedding! Finally, I've been waiting for this day so long. I hope you brought the 30,000 euro wedding gift as promised. Oh, and just like I told you, you're going to be sitting in the front row at our wedding reception. I thought that if I didn't do that, then you would probably just try and hide in the back, but I'm not going to let my own sister do that at my wedding. All right, I'm going to be changing into my wedding dress for Giorgio now, so see you later. Try not to throw a tantrum when you see the two of us exchange vows, all right? Sophia, what do you mean you aren't at the wedding venue? Canceling without a notice is considered impolite, you know. And it's not just you, even. Why is 90% of the people I invited not here? But they said that they would come. Even mom and dad aren't here. Our aunt and uncle and our cousins as well, and none of them came. Hold on. Is this your doing, Sophia? Did you tell all of them to reply to my wedding invitation saying that they'd come but not actually come to the wedding or something? You were supposed to give me a wedding gift of 30,000 euros, right? And to think I was planning on using the money I received from everyone's wedding gifts to pay for the wedding. I need your 30,000 euros especially. Jesus. It's fine if you don't come to the wedding anymore. Just deposit the 30,000 euros to my bank account. Sister, sorry, but I actually need you to give me 50,000 euros now. I'm adding 20,000 euros as an alimony for ruining our wedding, which was supposed to be the start of our happiness. Speaking of alimonies. Oh, Sophia, finally you replied. So, like I already said, I need you to deposit 50,000 euros to my bank account. I'm not going to be giving you any money, Rosella. On the other hand, though, when are you going to pay the alimony that you owe me? What? What in the world are you talking about? Did you forget that I asked both you and Giorgio for an alimony of 30,000 euros? You see, Giorgio told me to wait until you two had your wedding, but that's today, isn't it? Can I take that to mean that you're going to pay the alimony as soon as possible? What? But I don't know anything about that. Oh, so you didn't hear anything from Giorgio? No, he didn't tell me anything about an alimony. Besides, why do we even have to pay you an alimony in the first place? I mean, Giorgio is your ex-fiancé, right? And since now the two of us are married, he's also your brother-in-law. You're seriously going to be so evil and heartless as to make a family member pay you an alimony? You're a sick person, Sophia. You've got some nerve calling me sick after you just stole my fiancé and are now asking me to give you 50,000 euros as a wedding gift. It doesn't matter whether it's my sister or not. I can legally ask an alimony from you two for Giorgio cheating on me to be with you instead. Huh? But I already told you that it's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other. What is so wrong about wanting to be with your soulmate? Your soulmate, huh? Well, I guess you've lasted longer with Giorgio than any other boyfriend of yours until now. It's still only been a few months, though, so we'll see. Hold on. Don't tell me. But did you think that you would somehow be able to get away without having to pay an alimony if it's your sister's fiancé you stole? Did you think that you were so lucky he was my fiancé or something? I mean, you're my sister. And you're Giorgio's ex-fiancé as well. I thought that alimonies didn't work when the person you were asking one for was your family. Just where did you get that information? Seriously, you know you could have just looked it up on the internet or something, right? It doesn't matter who it is. If they cheated on me, of course I'm going to make them pay me an alimony. This is your apology for betraying me, and the thing that will crown my revenge towards you. What do you mean, crown your revenge? But me and Giorgio were supposed to find happiness. You're going to be so mean as to ruin that for us? Yes. Sorry, but I'm no saint that's going to just forgive you two for what you did, Rosella. Besides, who doesn't want 30,000 euros? And seriously, you're the one who's going to call me mean? Didn't you just try hosting a wedding ceremony as a way to crown your superiority over me, but ended up failing miserably? I got off topic, though. Just tell me, when are you going to pay me the alimony? Don't ask me. I didn't hear anything about this. Fine, then ask Giorgio when he's going to pay the alimony. You go and ask him yourself. Yeah, but it's going to be such a hassle for me. You're with him right now, aren't you? Just go to where he is right now and explain the situation to him. But Giorgio said that there was somewhere he needed to go first, and I haven't seen him since arriving at the wedding venue. I'll ask him when I get home. Sophia, could you just forget about the alimony we owe you? You see, about the 30,000 euros I was supposed to pay you for your alimony. I used it to pay for the wedding expenses. What? I told you about how almost none of the people I invited to the wedding actually came, right? And how because of that, I didn't get as much money as wedding gifts that I had expected. I was counting on that money to pay for the wedding, but it didn't come, so I started looking for some money when I found an envelope with 30,000 euros in cash in Giorgio's bag. I thought to myself, oh, so he already had the money to pay for the wedding prepared then. And so I gave that money to the staff at the wedding venue, and... So you gave his money to the hosters of the wedding venue without even asking Giorgio first what it was, huh? That was supposed to be the money he would use to pay for the alimony I was asking from him, I suppose. Yeah. He got mad at me because he said he was intending on handing over that money to our parents' house on the way home from our wedding. But the wedding expenses were 30,000 euros as well, and I didn't know about the alimony, so it was only natural to think it was the money for the wedding, right? I mean, anyone would have done the same thing in my position. Actually, I think that most people wouldn't just take 30,000 euros from their partner's bag and just hand it over to someone else without their permission first. Because judging by what you just told me, you just looked around in Giorgio's bag and took his stuff without asking him, right? But he's my husband. His money is my money as well now, right? Well, not exactly. Based on what I heard from another person, it seems that Giorgio sold some of the more expensive plastic models in his collection to get that money. But even that still wasn't enough, so he borrowed money from some of his friends as well to get that 30,000 euros. What? But I thought that he was rich. He works at a large trading company, doesn't he? Well, apparently, I guess not. He was always careless with his money, now that I think about it. By the way, apparently he believed you when you told him that you would take care of the wedding expenses on your own. But the truth was that you were just relying on the 30,000 euros I was going to give you, right? But I didn't hear anything about this prior. How should I have known? So did you talk to Giorgio about what you were going to do about the 30,000 euros you owe me? You guys are married, so it's probably not going to be a case of theft, but I heard that Giorgio got all giddy about his marriage with you and made a huge mistake during work, getting fired for it last month, right? Isn't that why he didn't have the money to pay off the alimony immediately? It seems like you're in a pretty difficult situation right now. Giorgio is currently unemployed and looking for a new job, while you don't even have the slightest intention to look for a job yourself. Yet you have to pay me 30,000 euros by, well, today. You don't need to remind me. I already know that I'm in a difficult situation. I think we might even get divorced soon. What is his problem even? I mean, he's the one who works at a large trading company, not me. Shouldn't he have just paid for both the wedding and the alimony like it was nothing? I'm not interested in your marital affairs, Rosella. Complain to him about that, not me. The fact that you still owe me 30,000 euros hasn't changed. What? You're still going to make us pay 30,000 euros when all of this other shit is happening to me? Of course. It's none of my business what's currently happening to you. But I don't have any money. Like I said, that's none of my business. You'll just have to get it somehow. You're being so mean, Sophia. I thought you were my sister. We were only ever sisters by blood, Rosella. I remember ever since you entered elementary school, you would always tease me for being ugly, and that continued all the way to, well, now. Besides, it's your fault for hosting a wedding ceremony even though you don't have any money. What? So what if we had a wedding ceremony? You're not going to let us even do that? Who do you think we are? Some sort of couple in poverty? But didn't you just say yourself that you didn't have any money? Neither of you currently have a job as well, so if that isn't poverty, I don't know what is. The truth was that you didn't have the money to pay for the wedding, yet you still made plans for it, right? But not having a wedding isn't benefiting of us when we're a couple who was about to find long-lasting happiness. Besides, I was counting on the money I would receive from the wedding gifts. It's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault for not coming to my wedding and giving me money. But have you even thought about why almost nobody came to your wedding? How should I know that? Tell me, why is it that no one came then? Isn't it because you loved stealing other women's boyfriends? You stole boyfriends from several of your friends, right? Not only that, but this time you stole your own sister's fiancé. It's the same with Giorgio. We had a lot of mutual acquaintances, and so most of those cut ties with him when they found out about what he did. Not only that, but apparently he told his friends that got mad at him for cheating on me that you're just jealous because I'm popular with young women while you're not. Which obviously didn't help the situation. Seriously, why did I ever get engaged with an idiot like him? What made you think anyone wanted to celebrate your wedding? But everyone said that they would come in the reply to the invitation. Oh, so did they all cancel at the last moment or something? That is a bit strange, I guess, but I guess they were all just trying to bully you or something. I mean, you do have a lot of enemies, right? I guess that's none of my business, though. Just make sure to pay me that alimony, all right? It's already past the due date, so I'm going to hire a lawyer to handle this from now on. Oh, and I'm not considering lowering the amount even by a cent. I kindly ask for your cooperation. Bye then. But, Sophia! I was a bit curious as to whether the people Rosella invited and replied saying that they would come to the wedding actually planned a mass last-minute cancellation, but apparently that was actually what happened. The first set of wedding invitations came back mostly with replies that they wouldn't come. It seems that Giorgio gave up at this, but Rosella was a bit more stubborn and invited basically everyone she knew, including former classmates from elementary school. That's how some people who had a grudge against my sister in our hometown found out about her wedding. And so apparently they planned that they would all reply saying that they'd come, but cancel at the last minute. Anyways, this and that happened, and in the end, Giorgio and Rosella could no longer pay for the alimony I was asking of them. This time, they sold Rosella's brand clothes and bags and stuff, and even sold her car. Even that wasn't enough, so they had to take on a loan to somehow gather the 30,000 euros that they needed. The day after they finally paid off the alimony they owed me, the two got divorced. That didn't change the fact that they were still in debt, so now the two of them live their separate lives of poverty, working all day, every day to pay off their loans.
Hello, Dolores. I heard that you're going to visit your parents' house soon. Apparently you're going to be there for a while. Could you tell me why? Huh? Did I tell you about this already? Because I don't think I've told even Araldo or his father about this yet. One of the mother-in-laws of your friend is my friend. I heard it from her. Don't tell me. But is this you preparing to get divorced with Araldo? Or are you just preparing to live separately with him? No, it's neither of that. You see, I've been assigned to work at an office near my parents' house by my company. My parents' house was close by, so I thought I might as well just move in with them. I see. So that's the reason. I thought you were getting divorced with Geraldo. To think that I was so excited that I was going to finally be free from living in a multi-generational household. Looks like you still hate me as usual, mother-in-law. Of course I do. I mean, me and my husband would never have moved in with you two if my husband didn't suddenly get hip pains. Not only that, but I was making preparations for Geraldo to marry a daughter of a friend of mine, but you appeared out of nowhere and married him. I heard that Geraldo only met this friend of yours after he graduated from college. But me and Geraldo have been going out ever since we were in high school. What do you mean I came out of nowhere? If anything, this marriage proposal of yours is what came out of nowhere. Shut up. All that matters is that Geraldo wasn't supposed to marry you. That's the reason I don't like you, Dolores. And I'm the type of person who shows no mercy to anyone I don't like. I see. Well, at least that makes dealing with you easier then. I also am the type of person who thinks that it isn't necessary to try to get along with someone you don't like. Huh? What's with that attitude? You talk like you're my equal or something. You're not my equal, Dolores. I'm your mother-in-law, which means that you have to do what I say. Yeah, I've heard that before. Maybe if you actually did anything helpful around the house, I would have believed you. But the truth is that you just lay around all day doing nothing. Seriously, not only do you not have a job, but you don't even do the housework. Anyways, it seems like this conversation isn't going to go anywhere. Which is why it's alright if we just end our conversation here, right? I already answered your questions, and talking to each other anymore would be a waste of time since we'd only annoy each other. What do you mean, a waste of time? I told you not to take that attitude with me, didn't I? I'm still talking to you, so you can't just leave. I'm currently in the process of packing my stuff, so goodbye.
Hi, Dolores. Can you talk right now? There's something I need to tell you.
Hi, Geraldo. What's the matter?
You see, I think we have a bit of a troublesome situation on our hands.
What do you mean, a troublesome situation? Does this have something to do with your mother?
Yep. You see, I found out that she's been entering our side of the house when we were both outside.
What? Really?
Luckily, she wasn't able to enter your room since it was always locked, but she had the spare key to my room, so...
Well, it's not like I had anything to hide. I already moved all my valuable items and things I use for my work to my parents' house.
I see. Well, it's good if that's the case, but it seems that I was right when I decided to prepare for what might happen after you started working from home. I only recently found out that Mom was going in and out of our side of the house recently when I set up a camera, but judging by how she was moving around like she already knew the place completely, there's a high possibility that she's already done this several times before.
What? Really? Do you have any idea as to why she might be doing this?
I seriously have no idea. I checked the cameras and it doesn't really seem like she's stealing anything, so I don't know. Maybe she's just doing it to spy on us or something. The silver lining is that you already moved the stuff you use for work to your parents' house, so she wasn't able to mess with that.
I mean, I couldn't really work while I was constantly anxious as to whether your mom would enter my room or not. I remember how she always used to barge into my room whenever I forgot to lock it and would tell me to do the housework. I told her that I was working, but she just laughed at me and said that I was just looking at my computer all day and that there was no way that was going to make any money.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My mom still doesn't understand that in this day and age, people can work from home as long as they have an internet connection. Oh, there's one more important thing I need to tell you.
What is it?
Do you remember that my dad talked earlier about how the current multi-generational house we live in is getting quite old, and so either he would rebuild it or we would move?
Oh yeah, I heard that your grandfather was the one who built this house, and it hasn't been renewed ever since.
Yeah, some of the wood is starting to get old, and there's a risk that it could just collapse if a major earthquake were to occur. Anyways, my mom suddenly brought up this topic while you were gone.
Why? Wait, let me guess. Knowing your mother, it was probably something about you guys moving without me, right?
Yep, exactly. She said that we should make plans while Dolores isn't here and just quietly move out without telling her anything.
What? Your mom said that to you?
Yeah, she must think that her son and her husband would side with her no matter what or something. When in reality, me and Dad are almost at the end of our patience with her. Well, at least thanks to her trust of us, her secret plans are no longer a secret, though. Yeah, and there was something I wanted to ask your advice/permission for concerning the matter.
My advice/permission?
It's a bit too important to discuss by text, so could me and my dad come visit you at your parents' house this weekend? If possible, I want to talk to your parents about this as well. It's something really important that'll decide the future of our families.
Alright, I'll ask them if they're available right now. Hi, I'm back. They said that it's fine if you come on Saturday afternoon.
Hey, what time would be good for you guys? We can come whenever.
My mom said that the 5 of us should have lunch together at our house.
What? Really?
Yeah, my parents like you, so apparently you're always welcome here.
I see. I'm happy to hear that, I guess. All right, I'll accept your mom's invitation. We'll be there around noon on Saturday.
Alright, we'll be waiting for you.
Yep. Tell your parents thanks for the invitation.
Okay. Oh, and Mom was asking what you guys wanted to eat for lunch.
Anything is fine, really, but if I had to choose something, then maybe pasta, I guess? Well, then, see you later.
Yep, see you later.
Hi, Dolores. Thanks for having us over today.
No problem. It was a pleasure. I was a bit surprised the way you had to tell us, but I see. If your father is under this much pressure, then it's probably best if we set this plan into motion as soon as possible, right? It's a miracle that he was able to hold out this long. Seriously, I didn't know that your mom was that much of a problem for you two.
Yeah, my dad is a really patient man, which is probably why he was able to put up with her for so long. He says that she wasn't like this when she was younger, but over the years she suddenly became more and more, well, you know. Anyway, I agree. We need to set this plan in motion as soon as possible. I mean, I can't stand my mom always bullying you for no reason as well. Seriously, you're the one who should be getting mad at her for making you do all the housework when you have work to do and she doesn't. Oh, and don't worry about me and Dad. We've already talked this through before, and that was the conclusion we came up with.
I understand. This is partly because you were thinking about what was best for me, right? Thanks for that.
Don't worry about it. Well, that's it, I guess. Me and Dad will do most of the work, so you won't have to do much, but I just want you to make sure that my mom doesn't find out about our plan.
Yep, understood. Long time no see, Dolores. You see, I'm texting you today because I have good news. Long time no see. Good news, huh? Yup. Well, good news for me, at least. I guess this is going to be bad news for you, though. Just what in the world are you talking about? The demolition of the multi-generational house we've been living in until now starts today. What? A demolition? Yup. We waited for you to go to your parents' house and moved out as a family so we could demolish the house. Me, my husband, and my son, the three of us. It looks like using your work as an excuse to move to your parents' house and not coming home even once was a mistake.
Oh, is that so?
Yup. Even my husband and my son have run out of kindness for you because they did everything I told them to do and demolished the house and found a new place to live just like I told them to. Without any complaints as well. Of course, we're not going to be telling you our new address no matter what, so this means that you and Geraldo are going to get divorced.
Is that so? I understand. Goodbye then.
Yeah, bye. Still, I thought that you would have a bit more to say than just, is that so? Does that mean that you're fine with getting divorced with Geraldo? I mean, you have been living at your parents' house for the past few months, so I guess it was only a matter of time. I'll make sure to tell Geraldo about this. I feel so much better now that you're gone from my life. Finally, things are going to go back to the way things were.
Hi, Geraldo. I just got a text from your mother. I don't think I need to remind you, but don't believe her when she says I want to get a divorce with you.
Of course I won't. What did she say?
She told me that our old house was going to be demolished. I guess. Not only that, but she also talked about how you and your dad were on her side, and now how you guys wouldn't tell her our new address. Oh, and she said something about how you and me would have to get divorced now.
You say that so simply, but what I'm guessing is that Mom was a bit more dramatic when she told you this, right? Let me guess, she was probably acting as if she had won or something, right? I seriously don't know what's giving her the idea that we're on her side, though. Because it's not like me and Dad have been actively supporting her or anything. I mean, does she seriously think that me and Dad have just forgotten about all the shit she's done over the years?
That's what happens to people when they get overly narcissistic, I guess. They always think that they're always the one who's right. Do you want me to show you her text tomorrow when we meet?
Yeah. Dad says it's partly his fault for being too patient with her all these years. Because every time she messed up, all she would get was at most a scolding. Not only that, but not having to do anything all day, every day for the past 30 or so years probably has something to do with it. I mean, I remember that she stopped doing the housework and was making Dad do everything since I was in, middle school. Oh, sorry, that was completely unrelated to your question, I guess. Well, I'd appreciate it if you could show me those texts tomorrow.
Alright, I'm already at our new house, by the way. I'll start unpacking the stuff I already brought from the stuff that seemed necessary.
Sorry, I had to leave that to you. Alright then, looks like we're in the endgame. Me and Dad are gonna go and meet Mom and tell her the news.
Understood. Good luck.
This is terrible, Dolores. Dolores, answer my phone calls. Since when did you fool my husband and son into siding with you?
Wow, look at all these notifications.
You have to pay me alimony.
What? What's this suddenly about an alimony? Just because you were supposed to move with your family into a new house, but the destination instead happened to be your parents' house, doesn't mean you can get mad at me, you know.
Judging by your tone of voice, you knew about this, didn't you?
Well, yes. By the way, your husband divorced you, right? Or is it just that you weren't included when they said that you would be moving as a family? Or maybe your son Geraldo officially cut ties with you and told you that he wouldn't tell you the new address, no matter what.
All of that just happened. Why do I have to be kicked out of the family like this? But it's you who should be kicked out of the family no matter how you look at it.
It just means that you're the only one who thought that way.
Why?
I mean, for several reasons, probably. First of all, with Geraldo. You tried to forcefully choose who he would marry, even though he already had a girlfriend. And when he did marry this girlfriend, you started bullying her just because I ruined your plans. And with your husband, you used up all of the inheritance his parents left for him in 2 years, even though it wasn't meant for you. And when he confronted you about this, not only did you show no sign of remorse, but you started using the money you two were saving up for retirement.
How do you know about all of that?
They told me? Not just that, but I heard from them about several other times you messed up. Be it large or small, but in my opinion, it's a miracle that your husband didn't divorce you sooner. Well, it probably has something to do with how your husband is such a patient man.
Dolores, stop talking so much and just tell me your new address. Oh, and convince my husband not to get divorced with me. And convince Geraldo to not cut ties with me.
Oh? But I thought you hated me. And you're still going to make all these demands from me?
Now's not the time to talk about such unimportant things.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I won't be able to help you with any of your demands.
Why not?
Because just like how your husband and your son are on my side, I'm on your husband and your son's side as well.
Huh? Then just be on my side as well.
That's not how it works, mother-in-law. Well, it looks like there's no point in talking to you, so I'm going to leave now.
Huh?
Wasting each other's time is not going to benefit either of us, so goodbye.
Dolores? But this isn't a waste of time. This is an extremely important matter for me. Oh, I know. I'll accept you as a part of our family from now on, so help me. Why aren't you replying, Dolores? Dolores, I don't understand. Why did my husband and son suddenly turn on me? But up until now, they were always on my side. This is all your fault, Dolores. I know you did something to trick them into siding with you or something. I knew letting Geraldo marry you was a bad idea from the start.
My mother-in-law was sent back to her hometown along with the stuff she thought she was going to bring to her new house. I only heard about the details from Geraldo and his father later on, But apparently, my mother-in-law, as usual, did none of the work herself, and made her son and husband do all the work. That's probably why she didn't realize anything, including how all of her stuff was sent to a different location to her son and husband's, until the day they were supposed to move, which is when her husband told her about the divorce and her brother came to pick her up in his car. She now lives with her brother's family in the house they grew up in. She lives in a small corner of the house and is no longer as proud as she used to be when I lived with her, it seems. As there she was just some strange relative that was living with her brother since she had nowhere else to go. At a later date, Araldo's parents got divorced with the help of a lawyer. The amount of money my mother-in-law spent that wasn't hers goes up to several tens of thousands of euros, but in the end, it was decided that there would be no property division after the divorce, and she would pay back the money she spent monthly. She had to get the money from somewhere, so she found a job and started working. Luckily, she was hired by a local company to do work. Even she, who had basically zero work experience, could do. But it seems that people in her hometown already knew about that personality of hers, as many of them knew her when they were students in school. Araldo's father says that she wasn't like this when they were younger and when they first fell in love, but the people who knew her from school, on the other hand, say that she was always the narcissistic and selfish type, and her husband was just too kind of a man to see it at first. This being the case, my ex-mother-in-law spends most of her time not working alone at home, only sometimes talking to her relatives, which were the only people that would ever talk to her.
Hey, Kate, are you there? I just wanted to ask you a quick little favor, if you didn't mind and have the time. I was wondering if you could bring me a couple of changes of clothes here, and if that would be alright. And maybe I could give you the clothes that I got here, and you could take them home and wash them up, please? I'm really trying to create as little work for you as possible, I promise, but I think that I really need some new clothes right now. I've already worn what I have for a week or so, just cycling through everything. Kate, could you please pick up the phone? We haven't even talked in a few days, and I really miss you. Is everything okay? I really do wish that you would answer me so I can know if you're alright. My messages aren't even coming up as read anymore. I really just wish that you would respond to me in some way. Okay, I guess you're just busy right now. I'll try and reach out to my mom about the laundry then, so don't worry about it. But I really would appreciate it if you would reach out to me and let me know what you're up to. I just wish that I could leave already and that you and I could be together. Anyways, I guess I'll leave it there. Please get back to me when you see this.
Hey, Brian, are you there? You better pick up the phone right now. Serious to talk about. Missed call. Pick up the phone right now! I'm trying to talk to you! Don't you ignore your father-in-law like this!
Oh, Greg, sorry, I wasn't looking at my phone and I had it on silence. I'm just seeing all this right now. Oh, what's the matter? Is it something you want to talk to me about? You said it was serious. What's it about?
This is about the fact that I want you to know that just because your wife is in the hospital doesn't mean that you can run around and cheat on her.
Wait, what? What do you mean by any of that? I don't understand.
I mean that just because Kate has been stuck in the hospital for a while doesn't mean that you have permission to go sleeping around on her. You really are a horrible husband, you know that? How can you just abandon your own wife in the hospital, not ever go and visit her and decide to cheat on her on top of all that?
Wait, Greg, please, you've got this all wrong. I'm not cheating on Kate, I swear to you.
Cheating on her when you're not busy, then why don't you go to the hospital and visit her, huh?
Well, it's just a little difficult right now.
So then you're really not going to come and see her at a time of need at all right now?
I'm really sorry, Greg. I just can't right now.
You really are a bad liar, you know that? I mean, how can you just abandon your wife in the hospital like this when she needs you right now? I hope all the fun you're having is worth it because we all know what a terrible person you really are now.
No, wait, please let me explain. The reason why I can't go and visit Kate in the hospital is because I'm in the hospital too, you see.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're in the hospital? What happened?
Well, this all goes back about a week ago, actually. I was out for a little walk, and as I was trying to cross the street, a bike came out of nowhere and clipped me. They actually hit me pretty hard, and I broke my right leg, and I've been in the hospital recovering ever since.
So then, you mean it? You're really in the hospital as well?
Yeah, exactly. Did you really not know about all that? I would have thought that Kate would have told you about this. I mean, she does know that I'm here after all.
Wait, really? She knows that you're in the hospital right now? Well then, I guess I just have to say that I'm really sorry. I had no idea about any of this, and I really shouldn't have sent you those angry messages.
Well, I mean, those messages were a bit much, but as long as you understand the situation now, I guess that's all that matters. But I guess that means that there are a ton of people in the hospital right now then. I mean, there's me, Kate, and even Holly, right? How's Holly doing, by the way?
Yeah, Holly's still in the hospital as well. She went out with a friend, and I guess at some point she fell down some stairs and ended up hurting herself. Overall, the damage wasn't that bad, but she did hit her head, and so the doctors were of course nervous about that, and wanted to keep her in the hospital to examine her further.
I see. Well, I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to see either of them while they're in the hospital right now. But actually, if it's okay, I have something that I want to talk to you about, and I think you might have the answer.
Well, I guess after the way I treated you, that's the least I could do. What is it? What are you curious about?
The thing is that I haven't actually been able to get a hold of Kate for the past few days now. But now you're telling me that she's in the hospital, and I wonder if that's why I haven't heard from her at all.
You mean you and Kate haven't even been talking to each other for the past few days? Well, both Kate and your daughter just went into the hospital today, actually. When I got to the hospital, I tried to call your landline, but there was no one to answer the phone, and that's why I started to message you on your cell phone. But the reason that I said what I did is because Kate told me that she was worried that you were cheating on her. I guess I just believed her and didn't ask for any more details, and then when I started messaging you,
I see. Well, thank you for clearing that up, but I want you to know that I promise I am not having any kind of affair. Although I wonder why Kate would tell you that. I think I know why, though. The thing is that I've been coming home from work later and later because things are getting so busy for us, so I can't say that I don't understand why she might be suspicious. So I think what this really boils down to is all the hours that I've been having to put into my job.
You really think that's where she was getting that notion from? Well, if that's the case, I'll go and talk to her about that and explain what you told me. By the way, which hospital are you in right now?
It's the one not far from Kate and I's house across the street from that one thrift shop, you know?
Oh, I see. The girls are both in a general hospital in the next town over where I live.
Oh, well, that's good to know that we're not actually that far away when you think about it.
I think that if I got on the freeway, I could basically make it to where you are in about 15 minutes or something like that. Actually, if it's okay with you, I'd like to go out there and talk to you for a little bit about something in person.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. Just be careful coming over. It's not like I'm gonna be going anywhere soon, though, and there's something that I'd like to talk to you about in person as well.
Ryan, are you there? I'm so sorry that I couldn't get back to you this whole time. You're not going to believe it, but my Holly and I are actually in the hospital just like you. We were going out with a friend, and then we both fell down the stairs and ended up needing to go see the doctor. We're not quite back to our full strength yet, but the doctor told me that I could go and reset back with my parents if I wanted to. But more than anything, I'm just glad that I wasn't seriously injured and didn't suffer any kind of permanent damage.
Oh, I see. Well, that sounds like a real mess, but I'm glad you're okay and we'll get to go home soon.
Well, what about you? How are you doing? Do you still need me to bring your clothes, or did you manage to get that figured out since you reached out to Tom?
Yeah, don't worry. I just reached out to my mom and I asked her if she wouldn't mind bringing me something to wear.
Got it. Well, I am glad that you were able to get that sorted out without me. I really am sorry that I wasn't able to get back to you at all, but I'll come and visit with you with Holly soon, okay?
Hey, Greg, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I got a message from Kate. She told me she's out of the hospital and was gonna be recovering at your place for the time being. I was just wondering if that was really true. Is she really over there at your guys' house right now?
No, actually, Kate isn't here, and if she was gonna be coming, then I haven't heard anything about that at all. But we do have Holly home here with us.
I see. Well, I guess that just makes me have even more questions than anything.
Well, while you've been in the hospital, Kate told me that she had her hands full with Holly, and that things were getting difficult with you there. So she asked me if I could watch her, and I've been taking care of your daughter for about 2 weeks now.
Wow, you've been watching Holly for 2 weeks now? Just what is Kate up to?
I'm not really sure. I'm just glad that I have Holly here so nothing is happening to her while Kate is out there doing whatever it is that she's doing.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that we were able to talk in person about this a little the other day. It seems that our worst fears might be right after all, though.
I know what you mean, and I really want to say how sorry I am about all this.
No, Greg, you don't have to apologize for anything at all. I'm just grateful that you have been on my side and been so understanding through this whole ordeal. Anyways, I'll let you know as soon as I'm all ready here. And I'm just really sorry to have to ask, but could you just please hold on to Holly for a little bit longer?
Of course, it's no problem at all. I would be more than happy to watch her.
Greg, are you there? I just wanted to say how grateful I am that you took Holly to come and see me the other day. Also, I heard that you took her to go and see my parents afterwards as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. Holly was telling me how long it's been since she's last seen her other grandparents, and so we went there afterwards. But your parents were very surprised and happy to see us. They were saying how they just wished that you could be out of the hospital already.
Greg, I can't tell you how much it means that you did that. Thank you again, really. But now I guess that we should probably talk about the matter at hand, right?
I suppose so. How are things on your end? Did you get all the preparation done that you need to?
I think so, yeah. If everything goes according to plan, we should be ready for things to go down at my house around 9 in the morning tomorrow. If I could ask you to be ready by then, I'd be really grateful. Thank you.
You got it. I guess I'll see you tomorrow at 9, okay? Get some rest.
Hey, Kate, I was just wondering if you were still recovering at your parents' house right now?
Hey, Brian. Yeah, I'm still here with my parents, just trying to get over my injuries. I'm mostly healed up, but there is still some pain and discomfort, so I'm trying to take it easy and not to push myself. Although, because I fell down the stairs, I noticed that I just get really scared when I'm near tall places now.
I see. Well, that kind of stinks, given that our apartment is on the 7th floor of our building then, huh?
That's right, and I really wanted to take Holly and go to visit you in the hospital, but when I learned what floor you were on, well, I'm sorry, but I think I'm just not mentally ready to be in a place like that right now, but you understand, don't you?
It's okay, Kate. You don't have to worry about that. Thankfully, my mom has been coming to keep me company.
That's great to hear. Please tell your mom that I'm really thankful to her for doing that and that I'm glad she's there for you. It's a really good thing that your family lives so close to the hospital where you're at right now. I promise to work on this new fear of heights that I've gotten and try to overcome it by the time that you're ready to leave the hospital.
No, you don't need to worry about doing anything like that, I don't think.
What do you mean? I'm scared of heights now, and I want to be over this fear by the time we're living together again.
I just mean that you won't have to do that because you're already at our apartment right now, aren't you? I mean, people have already seen you walking around town too, even though you're supposed to be injured and immobile. But from what I've heard, it sounds like you're already over your fear of heights, given that you've been coming to and from our apartment this whole time. Not only that, but people have even seen you coming in and out of our place with a man who isn't me.
Wait, Brian, what is this? What are you talking about? I told you that I'm staying with my family right now while I recover. Do you really think that I'm out doing something with other people when I'm still injured?
Oh please, the only one who's at your parents' house is Holly, isn't it? Meanwhile, you've been taking advantage of the fact that I'm at the hospital to go and run around with whoever this other man of yours is, right?
Brian, how could you say that? Of course I'm not doing anything like that at all. You're not actually serious about this, are you? I mean, you do know that I actually fell down the stairs and have been healing this whole time, don't you? How can you even joke about me lying about this?
About where these stairs were that you fell down were? They were at the apartment of the boyfriend of yours while he was away on a business trip, right?
Are you still going on about this other man? I am telling you that I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Why are you still lying to me about this? I know that you'll leave Holly with a friend or with parents and then go over and see this guy. But this time you didn't have anyone to watch over Holly, so you took her to this man's apartment, huh? But that was then, while climbing up the stairs, when going to his place, both you and Holly slipped and fell down the stairs. Then, when you were gonna call the ambulance, you didn't want any questions about where you were or why you were there. So you drove all the way back to our place, pretended to fall down the stairs again, and then you called the ambulance. And ever since then, you've been holed up in our apartment, haven't you?
But how do you know all this? I don't get it.
Because while I have been here in the hospital, I also hired a private investigator to follow you and watch what you were doing.
Why would you do that?
Because you were acting suspicious and things weren't adding up. So as he was following you to your boyfriend's place, he heard both of you fall and watched you get in your car and drive back to our place.
You mean that this person you hired to follow me saw the whole thing?
That's right. I know the whole truth, and there's nothing you can say that's gonna convince me otherwise. But that's all you're gonna hear about this from me. I'll leave what happens next up to your dad.
My dad? What do you mean? What does he have to do with any of this?
Well, he's actually waiting right now outside of our building. He even caught your little boyfriend as he tried to leave the building.
He caught him? But how did he even know who he was?
Well, that's what you get for sleeping with someone who works for your dad. He told me via text about how he caught this guy and that he knows exactly who he was.
Brian, are you there? Please, you have to help me. At the very least, you have to give me custody of our daughter. I don't care if you want a divorce. If that's what you want, then I'll give it to you. Just please don't take my little girl away from me.
I can't believe that you're seriously asking me this. After you let our daughter fall down the stairs, you didn't call for help and you changed the scene of the crime first. But what if Holly had been seriously injured? Don't you realize the risk that you were taking with her health just so you wouldn't get caught? Do you ever really think I would ever entrust my daughter to someone like you ever again?
What are you talking about? How can you accuse me of trying to put our own daughter in harm's way?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? Are you really gonna pretend like we haven't already talked about this? I am talking about not only were you lying about taking care of Holly, when what you were really doing was dropping her off at a friend's place or your parents to go and cheat on me, but on top of that, you actually brought our daughter to the home of the man who you were having an affair with, let her get injured, and then waiting to call for help until you thought you wouldn't get in trouble for it.
Well, what was I supposed to do? I didn't have anyone else who I could leave her with.
What were you supposed to do? You weren't supposed to cheat on me for starters.
But I already had it in my schedule to meet up with this guy. I can't just change my schedule like that.
Are you seriously ignoring the part where you are literally cheating on me, your husband? I don't care how you see the situation. The fact of the matter is that I've been given custody of Holly and you are never gonna have her again.
But you can't keep her. If you have her, then that means that I have to pay you child support.
That's right, and don't forget about the money that you owe me after I sue you for the affair too.
But I'm going to be flat broke by the time I pay you all that.
Kate basically ended up having to pay me all the money that she had saved up for herself before the two of us were married. Then she still had monthly child support payments to make as well. She ended up having to beg her father to help her find a job, and he found her a position in one of her friend's businesses. Her parents even let her move in with them on the condition that they would strictly control all of her money and how late she would stay out. As for Holly and I, we had support from friends and family come flooding in after the divorce. Even without all the money from child support, just knowing how many people have been willing to help us makes me think that we'll be just fine.
Hi, Omar. You know that today is Alina's entrance ceremony at her new high school, right?
Oh, hi, Rena. Yeah, I know. The entrance ceremony starts at 9, so I should get there a bit earlier, right? I have a night shift that day, so I'll be coming straight from my workplace, but I'll make sure not to be late.
What? Don't tell me you actually plan on coming, do you?
Yeah, I'm her father, aren't I? Why shouldn't I come to her entrance ceremony?
No, you can't come because you're just going to embarrass us. Alina doesn't want you to come.
What do you mean I'll embarrass you guys? I mean, I went to her graduation ceremony at her middle school, so why can't I go now? Besides, I heard that it's normal for both parents to come to the entrance ceremony. It would be better if I came as well, I think.
No, it's true. It's normal for both parents to come, but there are single parents and stuff too, so it won't stand out that much. It would be better if I went alone and everyone thought I was a single parent than if I went with you.
Huh? What is that even? I know you guys aren't very proud of what I do for a living, but is it seriously that embarrassing? Besides, it's not like they're going to go around asking parents what they do for a living, are they?
Jesus, you really are an idiot. It doesn't matter if they don't ask you your profession because it's obvious what it is just by looking at you.
Huh? Come on, Rena. Aren't you over-exaggerating a bit? How are they supposed to know that I work at a factory just by looking at me?
I'm telling you, you don't understand the feelings of a teenage girl. You see, a father who works at a factory is embarrassing for a teenage girl.
Huh? Why exactly is it embarrassing then? I know it's nothing fancy like a pilot or a doctor, but it's nothing to be embarrassed of.
Of course you would say that. You're a factory worker. This new school of Alina's is a high-level private school, so the other students are going to pick on her if they find out that she's from the lower class. Besides, if you come to the entrance ceremony, the whole auditorium is going to stink, so go home.
Huh? Lower class? Just what exactly is this school you sent Elena to? Some sort of prep school? Well, I understand how she might stand out if they find out about her background, but is it really worth pretending I don't exist at all? And what do you mean go home? I haven't even went to the entrance ceremony yet.
I'm telling you not to go to her high school after your night shift is done and go straight home to our house. It's obvious you're going to stink after you just worked hours at a factory. Do you enjoy embarrassing us or something? It's not for me that you shouldn't go, but for Alina, since it's an important day, being her first day in high school and all. Apparently, Alina intends on telling everyone at her high school that her father works at a trading company and earns 100,000 euros a year. If you stink of factory, then they're going to know for sure that you don't actually work at a trading company. So, do you understand why you can't come to her entrance ceremony now? Just don't go, all right? Why do you want to go so much in the first place?
Because I thought she was my daughter. You know, I can take a shower in my workplace before I come. I intend on changing into a suit before I go as well. I'm not going to go in the clothes I wear to work if that's what you're worried about.
No matter how much you clean yourself up or polish your appearance, you won't be able to get rid of the stink that's already a permanent part of your body. The one that comes from years working at a factory. It doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to make you any less embarrassing to us. Do you understand now? Don't come no matter what. Hello, Father. Don't tell me you came to the entrance ceremony, did you? I heard from Mother that you intend to come, but don't come no matter what, all right?
Elena, even you're telling me not to come? But I went to your middle school's graduation ceremony, didn't I? Why can't I go now that you're in high school?
That's because my middle school was in the area that we lived, so everyone knew about you in the first place. Meaning that there was no point in trying to hide it. But now that I'm going to a private school a bit farther from our hometown, I can make my own background from scratch since no one knows you.
What do you mean make your own background? So you intend on lying about yourself just to impress your new classmates? That isn't good, Elena. You might impress them at the start, but you're going to end up being one of those people that only do things to please others. You're never going to be happy yourself.
Wow, those are some impressive words for a factory worker. Did you copy and paste that from the internet or something? You see, I'm going to tell everyone that my father works at a trading company and earns 100,000 euros a year. It's not an embarrassing profession, unlike a factory worker, right? I need to fit in, Dad. This new school of mine is a high-level private school, so the parents of all the other students will probably have such high-income jobs.
So you think that your father working at a factory is embarrassing? I told your mom this already, but while working at a factory might not be flashy, it's an honest job that you shouldn't be embarrassed of. I'm sure not all of the parents will have high-income jobs. Surely there will be some people like you, right?
Of course it's embarrassing. I mean, you stink, first of all. And working at a factory is like the opposite of being stylish, and it's so uncool. That's why I don't like you working at a factory, and I don't care if there are other kids like me. I'm not proud of it, and that's all that matters.
I see. I understand. Fine, I won't come to the ceremony then. Although I was hoping that you would disagree with your mother, it seems I was mistaken.
Hey, Omar, what are these divorce papers you left on the table?
Sorry, but my heart's finally broke.
What? What do you mean your heart's finally broke? Are you some sort of teenage girl who just broke up with her boyfriend or something?
Make fun of me all you want, but I don't care what you say anymore. Both you and Elena have always looked down on me for working at a factory. I try not to think of it too much by telling myself that it can't be helped since Elena is a girl in puberty and that you're just sympathizing with her. But today was the last straw. I thought to myself, why didn't I just quit being a father entirely? And that's when my heart broke and I couldn't hold back my emotions anymore. Those divorce papers I left you are the result of those emotions.
Why don't you do as you please? I mean, you can barely provide for yourself with that meager salary of yours in the first place, let alone for the three of us. That's why I had to work a part-time job all these years, Omar. Because my husband worked at a factory and barely made any money.
I know that I never made that much money, but I did my best to provide for this family until now. Not anymore, though. I'm done. Let's hire a lawyer to deal with the details of property division and stuff.
Huh? A lawyer? Where are you right now?
I won't tell you where I am, but I'll just tell you that I'm in the city.
What do you mean, a lawyer? Don't you think you're over-exaggerating? I thought I just had to turn these papers into the city hall and we were done.
We could, but hiring a lawyer is the best way to avoid trouble with things like this. We mainly need to discuss financial matters, so it's best if we hire an expert to manage things, don't you think? There's a lot less risk of there being any issue. Just sign those divorce papers and turn them into City Hall whenever you like. Well, goodbye, Rena.
Hey, I heard that you were divorcing Mom. Is that true?
Yeah, it's up to your mom when she turns in the divorce papers, though.
Nice! Finally! I was waiting for this day all my life. This is a good opportunity to get a new father, so I hope Mom actually marries someone who works at a trading company. Because then the background I made for myself will be real.
So you're going to continue telling everyone at school that your dad works at a trading company, even though me and your mom are getting divorced?
What? What do you care if I tell everyone my dad works at a trading company? Are you going to tell me that lying is bad and being honest is the best way to make friends or something? That's not how the real world works, Dad. Relationships would never get anywhere if people were honest.
Honestly, do whatever you want. I don't care what you do at school anymore. I just thought that it was strange because you're going to live with your mother after we get divorced, right? Won't your classmates eventually find out that you were lying?
Oh, I see. Well, it's not like anyone's asked me the details yet, so I'll just think of something later on.
So, is that all you wanted to tell me?
Yep. I just wanted to know whether it was true that you and Mom were getting divorced.
I see. Well, goodbye then, Elena.
Bye! Hello, Omar. I thought I'd tell you about the situation. I already turned in those divorce papers.
All right. I'm glad you accepted the financial terms of the divorce as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm lucky I got even that much out of the property division.
Yes, I added a little extra because I was the one who suddenly proposed a divorce, and it might affect Ellen's future. The money you need to raise Elena until she graduates from university is included in the money I gave you. Don't forget that. I don't want you spending it on any other nonsense.
Yeah, I already received an explanation from the lawyer, so it's fine.
All right then, I guess we're officially divorced now.
Yep. Goodbye, Mr. Low-Income Factory Worker. Hey, Omar! You've got to be kidding me, right? The factory you work at was shown on TV. You were interviewed, and they said something about you being the inventor of a new popular item and how you had numerous achievements over the years. And then they said you were going to be the CEO starting from next year. You didn't tell me anything about this, Omar. This can't be happening. To think you were headed straight for a promotion even when you were just a factory worker. I was almost the wife of a CEO. If I had known, I never would have divorced you. Hello, Father. I just graduated high school, and now I'm going to go to university.
Long time no see, Elena. Time flies so fast. You already graduated high school?
Yeah, and I want you to give me the tuition for university.
Huh? But your university tuition was already included in the money I gave your mother when we got divorced.
What? Seriously?
By the way, what university are you going to be entering?
A university.
If it's a university, then the money I gave your mother should be enough to pay for the tuition, since it's a national university, right? Why are you asking me for tuition?
I mean, Mom said that you didn't earn much money, so you could only pay for my tuition until I graduated high school. But you're still my father, so even if you don't earn that much money, it's still your duty as my parent to somehow grant my dreams when I say that I want to go to university.
I see. It seems like Mom didn't tell you anything.
What do you mean?
It's going to be inconvenient for me if you start following me around or something, so I'll explain it to you myself.
Huh? What do you mean follow you? But I'm your daughter. Isn't that a bit cold?
You see, Elena, you're your mother's child from her previous marriage.
What?
You see, the two of us never legally became related to each other since there was opposition from our families, so I didn't need to provide for your tuition in the first place when me and your mom got divorced. But since I was the one who proposed a divorce, I felt responsible for what it might do to your future. I decided to give your mother an extra 120,000 euros on top of the property division I already gave her to pay for your tuition until you graduate university and stuff.
1,200 euros? But if you can afford that much, just a bit more shouldn't be a problem for you, right? You see, 98% of people from my high school go on to university, so everyone's going to laugh at me if I don't go to university as well. So please, just give me the university tuition.
That's impossible.
Why not?
You see, 120,000 euros was a huge amount of money for me at the time. It was basically all my savings, and I had to be really tight with money for a while after that. I've only recently been able to spend up an average amount of money again. Sorry, but I'm not going to go through that trouble again.
But if you don't give it to me, I won't be able to go to university.
So where's the money that I gave your mom that was supposed to pay for your tuition then?
I don't know.
All right, then you should ask your mother about it and talk to her about what to do from now on. If she doesn't have the money anymore, then it can't be helped, and you'll have to get a scholarship or get a tuition loan or get a student loan or something.
But even if you tell that to me now...
It might seem cold to you, but I really have nothing to do with it anymore. So you can't just involve me in your financial matters like this. You're not my daughter. The 120,000 euros I gave your mom 3 years ago was the most I could do at the time. Please don't contact me again.
Father!
No, I'm not your father. But I do hope that you find happiness, though. Good luck.
Omar! Why did you tell Alina that you weren't actually her father and that you had given me 1,200,000 euros when we got divorced? But if she doesn't get a job as soon as she graduates high school, we won't be able to support ourselves anymore. We don't have any money.
If ever Elena comes to me begging for money in the future, you won't oppose me telling her that she wasn't actually my daughter and about the circumstances involving our marriage.
Huh?
This was one of the conditions you agreed to when I gave you the 120,000 euros.
Oh, damn it.
It looks like you understand now, so goodbye.
Hold on, but it's true that we don't have any money. I heard that ever since you became the CEO, the company's business has been doing better than ever, so you can give us money, right?
Would you please just cut it out already? Didn't I tell you that Elena's tuition until university was included in the money I gave you? It's your fault for not listening to me and using it on who knows what.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I intended to leave some money for Alina's university tuition, but before I noticed it was just gone. So please, Omar, help your family.
Sorry, but you guys aren't my family anymore. You see, I got remarried and I'm going to have a child soon, which means that I don't have any money to spare as I have to provide for my actual family.
Seriously? You got remarried and you're going to have a baby soon?
Yes, that's what I said. Well then, goodbye for real this time. I had my suspicions as to what had happened to the 120,000 euros I gave Reina, but apparently she quit her part-time job after we got divorced. Apparently the 120,000 euros was used to support the two of them during the 3 years Elena was in high school, as well as for Elena's tuition. Honestly, what she did was more sane than I had expected. I thought that she would spend the money on random garbage like new bags or something. Anyways, ultimately, Elena gave up on going to university, but she didn't get a job either. After finding out that her mother used the money that was supposed to pay for her university tuition, she became feral and started just staying in her room all day. Reina was terrified of Elena's wrath, and so she started working part-time again. But since she only earns minimum wage and has to start from the beginning, the two were barely able to keep themselves alive, it seems. Not only that, but apparently Reina's new job was at a factory, the place she herself made fun of me so many times for working at. I guess she got what she deserved for making fun of a person's profession without even understanding what exactly it is that they do. Maybe karma does really exist.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.